All right, welcome everyone to the final tribal council for Endor 16 Vagary. Woo! We have our final three here, Andrew, Megan, and Rayanne. So let's just quickly walk through how tonight is going to go. So each of our finalists is going to get a 10-minute opening speech. They do not have to use that entire 10 minutes. It is up to them how much of it they want to use, but it is theirs. The order has already been predetermined by Andrew, who won the final immunity challenge. So he is going to go first, followed by Rayanne and then Megan, and then they will flip for closing statements. Closing statements will only be 5 minutes compared to the 10. Each of our 8 jurors has 10 minutes for questions, statements, etc. That 10 minutes again can be used as they want. They can ask questions, they don't have to. Again, I just ask the jurors if, two-way street, if everyone has to listen to everyone here. That I think it's going to be respectful, but just always like to lay that down as a ground rule. The juror order has already been pre-selected by me. Jurors, when it is the person before you, I will send you the link so you can come join in the background, just so we can have a nice flow and we don't have to like have long pauses between everyone. Besides that, after closing statements, we'll have like a cute little like 10-ish minute lull while each of the jurors votes for a winner. We're not going to end the stream just for continuity's sake, so we'll try and at everybody in the chats to know when to come back. And then we'll crown a winner. We'll have a little reunion on the main server afterwards for any of the cast that wants to come hang out. I know the pre-jury is pretty active, so people want to say hi. And with that, I think let's get to it, friends. So we will start the night with opening speeches. Andrew, you are starting. In the little private chat here on the side, guys, I'll give like time warnings or anything like that, if you need them. But let's get started. Andrew, whenever you are ready.
Yeah, I truly don't think I'll need that much time. I also don't want how I'm dressing to be a reflection of how much effort I put into this, but I don't have that much fancy clothes and I wear scrubs most of the time. So, opening statement for me, basically, I've met most of the people playing this game. If I haven't met you, again, I'm Andrew. So why I think I should win. The game is Endure. I have endured. I've been to the most tribal councils. I've never played my final shot. And on top of that, I'm like ridiculously new to everything. I'm not just new to Endure and the org community. I'm literally new to Survivor. And I kind of kicked ass, I'm not gonna lie. So when they were like interview or when they did that thing where they sent us and asked us all the questions like, oh, like what previous games have you played? I literally answered like chess, Battlefield 6, and Catan. And I slowly realized I'm like, that's the wrong answer. Like that's always been the wrong answer. So the other thing is like I think just me as my personality and people who've known me playing this game like know like I like to struggle. Like I'm a medical student. First month doing this, I was like waking up for like 5:30, 6 a.m. rounds. Like literally like my first day starting playing this game on a Monday was like I had to deal with someone chopping off their penis, like dead ass. So I've I would wake up, go see my patients, check Endure, get yelled at for checking the Discord server, go back to checking my patients, give them my full attention, and come back and not get voted out. So I would say I endured. And I think there's also been this sort of narrative that like, oh Andrew, if you take Megan or if you take Rayanne to the end, you're gonna be handing it to them. But like again, I like to struggle. I'm not gonna take I'm not going to take people I see as not strong opponents to the end. I'm literally going to take the strongest, otherwise, my win doesn't count if I get a win. And again, who decided that I wasn't strong out of all of us three? So in the beginning, I really had to sort of like feign a naivete And slowly I realized, okay, there's a little bit of naivete that I have going into this, but not as much as people think, and that's helped me a lot. I've had Jamie look out for me and be like, "You got to tell people you trust them, whatever." I've had multiple shields throughout the game, and everyone assuming that I'm naive and don't know how to play, but I think I've proved it moreover that I know how to play, especially the social game. And I know I'm supposed to win everyone's favor, and I really appreciate everyone that's been in the jury and meeting everybody throughout the whole game, pre-jury and during the merge with jury. And I'm really happy to be here. But I know I'm going to piss a lot of people off, but I did beat every single one of you to get here. I did get here. So again, this is my first time doing any of this, so I feel like you guys should just make me an org legend. If you hand me the win, like you can't say I won't be talked about, and this won't be talked about. On top of that, I got a trinket at like I saw the trinket at 6 a.m. in the morning, and I caught that shit by 8. I think I don't know the exact time, and I took out titans of the game like Malcolm, Deshaun, Tamara, Tito. Like I did that, and I survived without close alliances. I've had alliances go and get kicked out. I've had alliances stick throughout the game and meet me back and merge. So I just don't want to. I don't want a cheap win. That's why I've brought these two lovely people here with me to the end. These two lovely, strong players, and again, really new. My connections aren't strong. They've played this game before. They know the org community. I knew no one, and so you have to be impressed with how far I've made it with that. Um, Also, I've endured. Please, like I've literally done 12-hour, 14-hour days, and then had to hop on calls. So again, if I didn't call as much with you, just know it really was because I had a busy life. But I appreciate at the end of the day getting to know all of you in this new community. And even though I won't play this game again, just because like I have to give it to my patients, I have to give the attention to my patients. Like I really did make some lifelong connections and friends in this game. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Ryan, whenever you are ready.
Can you hear me? We're good?
It's
Okay.
shoddy.
Is
Is it
it?
a yeah, it's your computer mic, not your headphone mic.
Oh, how do I change that?
Settings, I think, at the bottom.
Okay, well, glad I asked.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, settings, audio, and then mic.
Do you hear me now?
Yeah, so much better. Okay.
Hey, well, hello, beautiful, beautiful jury. If you forgot who I am, I'm Rayanne Aragati. And personally, I believe I played a bold, beautiful, bombastic, and ballsy forward facing game that balanced the three pillars of Survivor: social, strategic, and physical, the best out of all three of us. And I really thought, like, where could I take this speech and what I should focus on. And obviously, I could talk about my social game, which I think is always incredibly strong. Luzzo said my play was stylish, and Ben told me I had aura. Personally, I think I'm just a silly goose, and that my warmth is able to be felt over a computer and phone screen, which makes people want to work with me and save me time and time again. Or I could talk about my strategic game, since I am the only person sitting here with a perfect voting record. My votes always shot to kill. I successfully played my final shot, got 2 dying wishes, and I pulled off countless and blindsides while dodging many attempts of people voting me out. Special shout out to Ben Ben. I hope you continue voting me tonight. Or we could talk about my physical game, which, like, honestly, I'm still surprised that we could even talk about it. I won 2 challenges in dominant fashion, one allowing me to grant my #1 safety publicly. And I also publicly assisted Andrew winning Skull, and like no one shook a fist at me. Like in a competition, if I didn't feel like I could win, I really did try to make sure that someone I'm aligned with could win. Um, but I think the thing that like would describe my game the best and what I would rather talk about is probably the darkest moment in my game, or at least the perceived one. During the break day, I feel like I should have been feeling on a high after pulling off the Gemma blindside along with Megan L. But I realized I was very much on the bottom along with Andrew and Jackie. Like, y'all were very much coming for us. So I knew I had to make a change to survive, not only for myself, but also for the hopeful longevity of my allies. So I approached Megan with an idea of an alliance between me, her, Jamie, and NJ. Since we were all recently blindsided through the Merchatorian first vote of Merge, um, and from then on, we became divas dining deliciously. And I also made a final two with Megan because we just wanted to gag y'all. Like, we just thought it would be gaggy. Um, and honestly, that moment started the domino effect that got me here at the final three. While I had to make the unfortunate decision to cut Jackie in the moment, in the trade off, every single other vote went in my favor, and I never had to make a compromise again. I was also allowed to have the space to push Andrew and I as the most reliable to pivot out of once our alliance had to come after each other, which paid off in the final seven, since not only did NJ tell us about the vote split, Megan told us the true details of the vote and told me I was the one who had to play my final shot. So my relationships I made in that alliance helped push me forward when I needed it most. And from then on, Andrew and I took over the game using our two trio alliances, and we pretty much just rode them till the end, being the arbiters of the game. And all that happened is because I dug and clawed my way through this game, honestly, because I'm an incredibly loyal ally. As I'm sitting next to my two final twos, like, I think that's incredible. I was a fun friend to call with, and I was fearless when it came to adversity. I wasn't afraid to make an enemy or get blood on my hands. Like, my photo was literally a paint of blood all over me. Like, y'all knew what you were gonna get right from the start. Um, and I'm really proud of myself. And no what matter what happens tonight, I know I'm a beautiful trans woman with clear skin and a fat ass, and no one can take that away from me. But I hope y'all want to vote for me. So, yeah, I think I slayed it, and I'm undeniable, and I can't wait to answer all your questions tonight. Thank you for listening, and thank you for Prod for putting on a really amazing season. And I'm excited to find out what happens.
Thanks, Ryan, and make whenever you're ready.
Ooh. Okay. Hi. Hi to my final other people here. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Ryan. Hi, jury. Okay. Something to know about me, if you don't know this already, is I'm a perfectionist and I love control. I'm an eldest daughter. And in games that I've played in the past, I have definitely entered those games with the mindset of it has to be the best game, which for me was the perfect game. It was perfect. I made all the right calls. I made all the right moves. I did all the right things. And I would never actually get that far. My kids love playing The Floor is Lava, if you guys know what that is. And I really imagined that was myself playing this game all the way from pre-jury into jury. The floor is fucking lava. Don't get in lava. Don't get out of the game, right? Fire is your life. Keep that fire going, right? But don't fall inside of it. And it was jumping, adapting, maneuvering, problem solving. It's not a way that I've played in the past, where I have not allowed myself to be more adaptable and more flexible. I've been harder on myself and I've been stricter. Something else coming into this game that I wanted to do differently is I wanted to be more authentic, more genuine, and I wanted to have more fun than I've had in a game before. With the amount of pressure that I've put on myself in life and in this game, sometimes being the most authentic and real version of myself is really hard to do. This time around, I wanted my natural ability to win people over to be the thing that shines. If you read my website, when this is all over with, my game little website, I talk about wanting to be adaptable and flexible this game, and that I wanted to use my woo, winning people over. I wanted to weaponize it, and I wanted to use it effectively, and I wanted to use it targetedly. That did me well in the way that the relationships I made pre-jury served me coming into jury, with Jamie, with Sam, with Ben, with Rayanne, with NJ, with Lezzo in particular. But part of my goal in pre-jury was not just surviving pre-jury, but it was setting myself up with those relationships so that coming into merge, I was set up well to know what was going on. I had Jamie give me the trinket, which I think is something that was important. I thought would give me safety, but it still gave me power at that time in the game. Reconnecting with Megan L and with NJ was important. Having Lezzo on my side to connect me with Aaliyah and Gemma was important. Having Rayanne on my side to then connect me back over to Andrew and Jackie and Ty, Jamie along with that, was important in all of that. Again, I wasn't just surviving pre-jury. I was coming into that, into merge, having these things together so that I had information coming in to me from all sides, knowing what I was doing. I was on the right side of the votes beside Sam leaving there every single time. After Sam leaving, that opened up my game. And I feel like I had at that point the ability to do what I had been wanting to do, which I already wanted to do to begin with and was already doing, but to be adaptable. Sam leaving opened up the door for me to be able to do that, to be able then to rely on the relationships that I already had with Lezzo, with Ben, with Jamie, with Rayanne, the ones that I was building up more with NJ and with Aaliyah at the time. Connecting with Rayanne was really important in pre-jury and come merge. That relationship with Rayanne that she's talking about, where we like got back together after Sam. Coming into that Gemma vote, I was included in that because of the reconnection that I made with Rayanne. And I had the ability to still keep relationships with Lezzo and Aaliyah after Gemma leaving because of telling Lezzo that Gemma was going to vote for him that round. Again, I had information that I could use to my ability. That relationship with Rayanne was key because when it came time for Rayanne to move into flip, when we were all going to turn on those three, Rayanne, Andrew, and Jackie, Rayanne, who did Rayanne come to? Rayanne came to me. Rayanne came to me and decided, hey, you and I together, what are we going to do here? And created that 4 of DDD, including Jamie and NJ and that. I knew that if Rayanne left this game, I was going to leave the game next. Rayanne and I were big targets, and we knew that if we were going to make it here to the end, we had to lock in together and do it. If we weren't going to turn on each other, people weren't going to do that. People were going to turn on us. If we didn't turn on each other, we wouldn't leave. We wouldn't leave this game. I was in a position where people wanted me to stay in this game because I was good for their game. So even though I was a big target here, this is where my social game, I really feel like I weaponized and used it well. People wanted me in this game because I was not just a number for them, but I was playing with them. I was in an alliance with them. I was someone that they wanted to keep in. And so people could not get the numbers to get me out. And when we were eventually edging closer to that possibility being true, this is where that round comes in where Jamie leaves. Jamie, my dear, we can talk about it. That round is monumental for me because that was the round I knew people were coming after Rayanne. If Rayanne left there, I knew that I was next. People were not going to let me get to the end if they weren't going to let Rayanne get there. That was a huge round for me. And I'm pretty positive I am the only person I think that had actually all of the information from that round. I could be wrong, but I think that I am. I knew where people were voting. I knew that NJ was going to vote Rayanne to leave. I knew that Aaliyah would be the only vote on Andrew. I knew that Rayanne playing her shot would ultimately save her. Andrew wasn't in danger that round. Well, to some degree you were, but I knew where the vote was falling and that Jamie was going to leave. Losing Jamie was something that was a hard cut to make, and it wasn't necessarily something that I wanted to do at the time, but it was something that felt necessary. We can talk about that more later. But all that to say, I was maneuvering. Even when things weren't going my way, I had avenues and turns that I could take that I could make my way out. Rayanne and Andrew didn't know what was going on that round, and I did. I come in here confident in the game that I've played, not trying to be egotistical, accepting all of the mistakes and the flaws that have come along the way. I am here because I have played my best game, not because it was perfect, precisely that. It was because I allowed myself to adapt, change, take charge when needed, lean into my natural ability to lead, charm, and direct things my way. I believe I am here for once because I allowed myself to play unmasked, unashamed, and fully me. I love you guys. I welcome your questions.
Amazing. Great job, guys. So those are our opening statements. We will move into the questioning of the evening. I muted myself accidentally. So each of the jurors has 10 minutes in total. Jurors, check the private chat when you're in here. I'll give you some time checks. But we already have our first juror in here. It hasn't been too long. So we are going to welcome back to the stage the one, the only, NJ. Hi, NJ.
Good evening. It seems that our court date has arrived a lot sooner than I expected.
All right, NJ, whenever you're.
Oh, I'll go. Congratulations to the three of you. I don't think it's any secret that I had so much fun playing with each of you. Already I've learned so much that I was like, oh, that's what happened. And you know what? That's going to be the joy of friendship when we all get to unmask, as it were, and get to know everything about each other. I haven't been in the jury that long, and I'm expecting the other jurors to grill y'all on more of the specifics of your game. So I wanted to take the opportunity with my question to hit more of a generality to see, to see the generalities, I guess. Sorry, ran out of words. The question I would like to ask each of you is two-parter. Part one being, starting over, sorry. I think each of the three of you played incredibly strong games. And I think each of the three of you could have made it to this stage without necessarily this exact final three pairing. And I think this final three behooves the three of you in your own unique ways. So to kind of get into the mind of what made y'all choose to sit with each other, part one of my question is, what in this game was a green flag for someone to work with? What made someone an attractive ally to you? And part two being the opposite. What was a red flag that someone could show that would mean it's time to cut them? If that makes sense. I will ask, we'll go in the reverse order if that's all right. So Megan, what's up?
Okay. So I think a green flag. Sorry, you just asked this question, so I was pondering a little bit. So a green flag for me, I think, I mean, it was loyalty, but I think a green flag for me was someone that was willing to be loyal, that I didn't feel like, maybe this tells what my red flags are, that I didn't feel like was too chaotic, that was too, I have too much question mark around what you're doing. I have too much like unsuredness. So maybe that's more of like that would be like my red flag. And so I think maybe for green flag, it was more loyalty. It was, I mean, trustworthiness. But I think what also shown for me that someone that I had the ability to work with them is if I really did truly feel like they understood maybe to some degree my threat level and were willing to work with that and were willing to work with me more forward in that versus being threatened by it.
Wonderful, sparkly. Rayanne, what would you say made someone an attractive ally to you? And what was something that someone could show that meant it was time to cut them?
So in my real life, I like to say that my sexuality is whoever's attracted to me, I'm attracted to you. So when it comes to the game, if you are attracted to me, if you want to work with me, and if you show up multiple times to work with me, then I'm going to work with you in your turn. Like for these two, I think the green flag was that they showed their loyalty time and time again, and that made me want to work with them time and time again. When it comes to a red flag, I would say obviously someone who doesn't want to work with me. I don't, that is a big problem. But I would say it is probably like if you come off too hungry. I think the people who have too much hunger, it's hard to work with them long term because you can tell that they're always trying to plan how to cut you. You can always, if I feel like you're trying to plan on one-upping me somehow, then it's hard for me to want to work with you long term or get my full trust.
Fun. Andrew, same question. What made someone an attractive ally that you would put stock in? And what could someone do that showed you it was time to go after them? No worries. Oh, you can't hear me. Oh, maybe I should type it.
Okay, I can hear now.
Okay. Yes. Sorry, my question was, what made someone an attractive ally to you that made you want to work with them? And what was a quality that gave you the sign that it was not a good idea to work with someone?
Yeah. So my computer is going crazy right now. So what made someone a green flag to work with? I think when someone wasn't trying to sell it to me a little bit too much, and I've told Megan and Rayanne this, but I'm a big patterns of behavior type of person. So I try to pick up on how people are lying to me. And NJ, just to be more specific too, I think we got to a point where even with Jamie as well and Aaliyah and Ben, people were overselling to me like, I'm so loyal to you, I'll do anything, and et cetera, which is good because in the moment you can use that to sort of have things go your way, especially pre-jury for me as well. But it got to the point where I'm like, I'm more of somebody who likes a clear cut, give me the reasoning why. And not only did Megan save us, and then we figured out that you were the one that had voted for Rayanne, but I remember asking Megan just straight up, like, Megan, I've pissed you off. I've pissed plenty of people off in this game. Why are you working with me? She's like, yeah, you've pissed me off, but I'm not gonna like have that mess with my strategy, which is a point towards Megan, if I'm gonna be totally honest. Like that's just how she is. She's got good strategy for it. So like it's something I can believe with people if they're straight up honest with me. And as somebody in medicine, you have to pick up on when people lie to you, especially patients. Red flags were the I have a living room full of people. Red flags are
Tell them to join the BL.
they can all join the
Oh, hello, Fahim household. I'm NJ.
Dependence.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm adding her on Facebook as you were
I
saying.
need the prize money to pay for my kids.
Oh.
But
Dad needs this.
red
Sorry.
flags are talking too much, which
Mm.
I'm doing right now. But yeah, anyway, back to
Sorry, we're gonna run out of time. I should not have interacted with your friends. I'm so sorry.
I didn't know.
Perfect. Anything else, NJ?
Oh, I
I
don't
don't know. Did Andrew
don't know
answer?
I don't think he got to the red flag part. That's why I was hanging
Oh,
on.
I thought I did. Sorry. Okay, my bad.
Was talking too much.
Oh yeah, the red flag for me is a lot of like maybe overselling it to me, watching somebody's intentions, especially with Jamie. Something that I picked up with Jamie is like sort of how he would sort of speak to me was very overselling things, and I knew Jamie's style was very much like speaking to everybody. He would tell me he would call people first thing in the morning, was very into calling people, and that's, to be honest, that's just not my style. So so basically for me a lot of it is like, can I like what is their behavior? For Jamie, when he was like, I'll vote with you, Andrew, when he was voted out, he said, I'll vote with you, I'll turn on Megan and NJ, no problem. And to me, that was a red flag, and I was like, okay, you're just gonna do that, no discussion or anything. So I could see through the facade pretty quickly.
All right. Well, it is always a pleasure. I could always spend another hour talking with each of you. And no matter what happens, I am excited to have each of you in my life. So believe in yourselves. You each have incredible games. Don't let anyone scare you. I am rooting for each and every single one of you. Mwah. I'll see you all quite soon. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Bye.
Thank you, NJ. Perfecto. And one great thing, the jury, I'm just going to point out that NJ did that I didn't mention, is that NJ was directing the finalists for who to ask, who to answer questions in what order. So I do suggest doing that. Be your own maestro for your jury period. Okay, cool. We'll get moving right along. Next up, we have the luckiest person in the season. It is Lucky Lazo.
Hi, everyone. I just want to say congrats to getting to the final. I really enjoyed playing with all of you. I'm going to go Megan first, Rayanne, and then Andrew. Megan, I worked with you the most of the finalists, but I did feel like you never really let me into too much. Once Sam left, I knew I was in trouble because Sam was giving me a lot more information than you were. And based on how you answered NJ's vote with how you view an ally and those qualities, I would say I align with a lot of those qualities with how we worked together. So I'm wondering, what was your strategy around letting me go? I also want to preface this by saying that, talk your face off tonight. But my question is, what was your strategy with letting me go?
Okay, I will talk the best I can. So okay, my strategy in letting you go, Lizzo, that was a really hard round. And so you're right, you and Sam were a lot closer, and I think I definitely knew that. I definitely was aware of that going in. I think that you were still an important ally for me because of Sam. Once Sam left, I was not sure, Lizzo, exactly where you and I stood. I knew that we were still good and I could still rely on that relationship because I think we were still giving each other bits of information, and you were still working, I felt like, with Aaliyah and Gemma. So I wanted that relationship to be good there. But with Sam leaving, for me, our relationship at that point was like, oh, this might be weird. This might be hard. At that point, the strategy in you leaving, that was after Gemma, that was after Jackie, that was after DDD had been made. And you're right, based on what I had said to NJ, you were a great ally. I did feel like you were starting to maybe get to a point where you would turn on me, that things could get chaotic. I thought that you were throwing my name around. I thought that you were open to potentially cutting and voting me out of the game if that meant you working with other people. And so from my perspective and in my mind, you weren't someone maybe that was going to let me stay in, but also from my perspective of working with that four, you leaving and you being chaotic and you even coming after Rayanne, or even after, like, if you were going to do that to Jamie or to NJ, like there was this four that I was locked into. And honestly, from here on out, even the you of it, the Megan L of it, I mean, every vote after that was systematically in procession for me to walk into the final spot here. And so you were someone I was working with. You weren't someone that I had necessarily a final three set up with to the end. Does that answer your? I can talk more and I can share more if you want clarifying.
No, that's okay. I'll take that answer.
Okay.
And no hard feelings, I hope you know.
I love you deeply, Lezo. I really do hope you know that. Like that wasn't a cut. It was really truly like the gameplay of it. And I was willing, like, I think part of that is I'm not ashamed and I want to own it. Like I want to walk in here and own, like, that was a move that I did need to make that made me move further in the game.
So you did vote for me. No, I'm kidding. No, that totally makes sense. And no, thank you for your answer. That's good. Thank you, Megan. Rayanne, you are the person that I actually really enjoyed every call with. Like I thought that if we met earlier in the game, we could have really worked together. And then on our swap tribe, you were just like naturally on the bottom. And so I already said your name. So in jury, I would continue to say your name. So you don't need to explain why you came after me. I totally get it. My question to you is, even if I don't vote for you tonight, would you still be my friend?
Of course. I mean, I hope I would be like extra your friend if you voted for me. But like honestly, one of my favorite parts of this whole season is when you read my tarot. It like really like it made my day. It made me like it gave me clarity, especially because I was having like such a bad day with my recovery at that point. Where like, of course, I'm gonna befriend another tarot diva. Like, yeah, no, I love you.
Yes, I love you too. And
I want to go up to Chicago to hang out with you and Roberto.
yeah, come vibe. They're right there. But I think you have a very impressive resume. All your, dying wishes is so impressive. It really just is, you weren't someone I worked with. So I'm still undecided, just so everyone knows. And then Andrew, your question is, who do you think I should vote for between Megan and Rayanne?
What was the question?
Who do you think I should vote for between Megan and Rayanne?
And Megan and me.
That's not my question.
Yeah, I mean, you should vote for me. So that's my answer.
Okay, I am done. Thank you for not answering my question, Andrew.
All right, thank you, Lizzo. All right, we will keep things moving. Perfect. Next up, we have the incredible Jackie B. Oh no, Jackie just disconnected as soon as I was about to add her. Jackie, come back. Okay, well now I'm gonna have to. This is me spitballing. Okay, now she's back. Whew. Gosh. Okay, hi Jackie.
Having technical issues, and this is very important. So I was switching devices to fix that shit. My bad.
I was like, as soon as I was about to add you, you disappeared, and I was like,
It was totally
Okay.
my fault.
perfect. You are good to go.
First off, congratulations to y'all. Y'all have eaten this game down. Congratulations on making it this far. Second off, Andrew, you're gonna need to tell your people to tighten the fuck up. Tell them I said.
Yo,
Can I apologize? I'm so sorry for us.
Okay, yeah. This is important.
I'm gonna get it in check.
Because my question is very important, okay? I will say the vote out left me a very bitter Beyonce, and I walked smooth away from the server for a long time. But I thought about this, thinking about who could potentially make it to the end of the people who are left. And the question that I have, it's for all of y'all, and I know I'm probably glitching and I'm getting irritated, but as long as you can still hear me, I will go slow. I'm a social and emotional player. So what I want to know is what was a turmoil that you ended up facing in this game that got you to this point? I would like to start in reverse alphabetical order. So that means Rayanne gets to go first. And Andrew, that gives you time to tighten up.
Okay, I think the turmoil and honestly and I think this person I talked about it from the beginning. Ben and I getting into this game were really close, but our games were not matching up at all, and we were going in opposite ways. We were rivals throughout a lot of it. And I think the tragic part of it is the reason why we became rivals was because I was trying to save Ben in that vote against Ginny. But I think it was such a turmoil because I think it was hard for both of us to not get our personal relationships mixed up with our game relationships. So some of the conversations we had were a bit more on the unpleasant side than they had to be. We obviously got over it and we had a really great ending, but we definitely had a journey throughout the game. Both game and I think on a personal level. And I think in general, I do not like it. I do not enjoy lying too much. That's always a turmoil. I'm a girl. I'll cover myself in blood and I'll lie in these games. Fuck it. But I will say, I don't like hurting people's feelings and I don't like making people cry. And I know that I have done that in this game. So I think that's also another turmoil I face. Just being a cold ass bitch is hard.
My turn, right? Okay. Okay, for me, the turmoil, I mean, kind of what Rayanne said there at the end, the lying for me, once we got to merge, I think I was pretty aware. And I knew that there were people that I did have good relationships with, Lizzo included in that I knew that I wasn't going to be with far in the game. And so I knew that lying and having to cut and having to make those choices that I was going to make further down were not going to be enjoyable for me to have to make, but then also meant that if I did get at the end, that there was the potential to have to sit here and go through this other turmoil of having then to answer to that and to process that and to work through that in this moment. I would say that honestly, probably Lizzo and Jamie for me were really big. I mean, I could say the Sam was a turmoil thing, but that shifted my game, sure. But I think the turmoil I really felt and Lizzo leaving and then in Jamie leaving that round, that Ben was not available and that Aaliyah was not available. And that I came when they really wanted to vote Rayanne out. And I did not want Rayanne leaving because at that point we were locked in to make it to the final together. Having to go into that round and not have the people that I wanted available to vote out at the time, and it needing to, and it falling on Jamie, even though I might have preferred NJ at the time. That was a really big turmoil spot for me of like, that was something that needed to happen, kind of similar to Lezo, that I maybe didn't necessarily want, but I did see that it paved my way forward. It is what got me here. I do think that Jamie in particular, specifically that round, is what got me here, but that was turmoil for me internally, having to do that and having to go through that.
Okay. I didn't know if you're about to speak. So the most turmoil for me during the game was honestly a lot of it. It's not really for me to try to lie and deceive. I can be good at it because of just how I have interacted with human nature or human, the human condition, blah, blah, blah. That was weird. But basically a lot of turmoil for me was having to vote out people that I really, really liked, like NJ. I really, really liked Jackie and Jamie. And these are people that I've grown close with and gotten to know a lot about their lives. Turmoil for me, Jackie, was when you got voted out. Deeply. It annoyed me so much that we were on the bottom, and that and I thought you and I kicked ass when you got voted out and you gave me the dying wish, and we just took control of that situation the best we could. That's the type of shit that like honestly got us through the game. And even losing Ty too, because at the very beginning, people knew that we were a tight alliance, and my strength in this game has been loyalty, but my weakness has also been loyalty, and that people can see it, and people have just loved coming for my allies. So a lot of the turmoil was losing people that I was super close to, and then having to be stuck with people that didn't want me there, or people that definitely didn't like me, because I won't lie. I won't sit here and lie to you all that I'm like the most popular candidate. I mean, if you guys saw that last one too, I was definitely not the most popular candidate with Lezo. So, you know.
You're on mute, Jackie.
Okay, it looks like I finally unmuted myself. My computer's on a lag, but I just wanted to tell you all congratulations again. Random things with banging, girl. Congratulations to you all. I'm so happy to have been able to play with you all. And good luck. Good luck.
Thank you, Jackie. Alrighty, moving right along. We have our next juror, the great Ben Fox.
Hello, finalists, and good evening. I join you all by candlelight to commemorate. No, just kidding. Really, congratulations, guys. I just had so much fun like playing this game with you all. It was an honor to be misted so heavily by three great players. Yeah, it was just a great time. I just want to make that point. As an English teacher, we are taught to give feedback not through straight criticism, but through compliment sandwiches. So I am going to praise all of your games greatly because you all deserve it. But in the middle there, I am going to have a little beef with each of you and a bone to pick. So I hope you can take it with patience and with the knowledge that at the end of the day, I want to vote for the best player, and I ask these questions out of love. So I would like to start with Megan. Megan, your game was the least visible to me. To me, it was pretty evident that Rayanne was in a power position, and she worked very closely with Andrew. Obviously, I found out about this secret diva dig eating alliance or whatever it was called, and I was surprised by it. But at the end of the day, Megan, a lot of your responses seem to be about how you utilized the presence of Rayanne to get you here. And I find something to be a little faulty that you relied so much on her strategic presence only to still sit with her at the end. So my question for you is to prompt you into explaining a selfish move. What was the one move that you, Megan B, made that most helped you win? And why will that help you be the winner of Endure tonight?
I do think that it was the Jamie round. I think that you can phrase that as Rayanne wanted to vote out Jamie. I think I would disagree that all of my strategic play has been on Rayanne. I would say that I think that Rayanne and I have played this game together a lot of the time, making, yes, certain decisions together. But for me, like, I always saw the ending of my game having to maneuver in between relationships. And Rayanne was a part of that for me, but so were you, Ben. So was Jamie, so was NJ, so was Aaliyah. At some point, it wasn't just Rayanne in this, but Rayanne was someone who we were big targets, and I needed her in this. Selfishly for me, the thing that I did was that round, because I could have let Rayanne go home that round, and I did not let Rayanne go home that round. I could have done it, and I didn't. I didn't want Rayanne to leave. I wanted to save Rayanne because I knew in saving Rayanne, I was saving Andrew potentially. I knew that Andrew was loyal as fuck. And I did know at that point in making that shift and making that turn, because if Rayanne had left, I honestly don't think that you guys would have let me get to the end. And maybe I'm wrong and you can tell me that you would have, but I really don't think that you would have. And so for me, that move was selfish, because Jamie left. That hurt you, that hurt Aaliyah, that hurt NJ, that basically hurt everybody else except for me. And that move, that turned me, that set me up to this trajectory for the dominoes to continue to fall where they were, for me to be able to make it up to this point.
Excellent. Thank you, Megan. You look gorgeous tonight. That's my second half of the compliment sandwich.
Thank you.
Andrew, my next question is for you, Andrew. And Andrew, my first part of the compliment is that I do think you played extraordinarily well into your naivety. I feel like I was going to be one of the first and foremost people to underestimate you, and you consistently and regularly proved my ass wrong and outplayed me at a lot of rounds. So I just want to give you praise for that. You've played this game extraordinarily well, better than most of the org veterans here have. However, Andrew, I do have beef with you over something. At Final 6, we woke up on the day of Tribal, and I texted you because me and you had discussed sitting at the end together for a couple days. You never really committed one way or another, but you kept that door open. You seemed like you were open to it. And I asked you straight up, and I told you, am I going to waste my time trying to vote with you at Final 6? Because if I don't have votes on my side, I go home. It's the end of the game for me. And I want to leave with my head held high. And you, Andrew, you told me, Ben, I will sit next to you at the end because I am confident that I can beat you. And I'll tell you what, Andrew, I believed you. I did not feel like at that point in the game, I had a win lined up for me. I quite was aware that the rug had been pulled out. And I said, Andrew, I believe you. I buy it. So let's do it. Let's work together. Just if at any point you change your mind, I want to be told. I do not want to walk into tribal council feeling like I have a chance if I don't actually have a chance. The way that I have beef with you, oh my gosh, now this candle's really dramatic. The way that I have beef with you is that you didn't tell me, Andrew. We ended up on a call together where you said, Ben, you might be cooked. And you provided no other explanation. Why set me up in a position where I not only felt loyal to you, but also felt inclined to see you as a winner, and then pulled a rug out from under me?
So I want to first off and say I did lie to you completely. I'm sorry. That's just sort of how I played the game. I really sort of had to kind of stick and really keep my options as open as much as possible to see what the end. And truly, I don't think you realize how much I sat there thinking like, okay, should I take Ben with me? And I'm not gonna lie, there was just like, to me, Ben, it was really sort of difficult for me to trust you at the end of the day, if I'm going to be completely honest, because since even the beginning of the game, yes, you have sort of underestimated me a little bit, but I honestly loved it. I played into it as much as I could. I'm not exactly sure how the first tribal council was going to go, but I was definitely the name and option for you to vote me out on our first tribal council on Sarsa. So I did pull the rug out from under you. It was literally going to be you as soon as you became vulnerable, because you were an incredibly strong game player. You're an incredibly strong strategist. No one knew where your true alliances lied, to be honest, ever during the whole game. And that's just kind of sort of how my perception of it. I'm not sure. I
Can
can't.
I follow up, Andrew? I like what you're saying. I really appreciate it. My question for you then is, how did voting me out help you win the game right now at Final Tribal with these two players?
Well, I was honest with you, Ben, that I thought I could beat you at the end. But again, like I said in my opening speech, I'm not trying to take people that I think I can beat. I'm trying to take people that I want to beat, which is Rayanne and Megan. Super strong players. It's not a win if it's not difficult and a struggle to get to. And I know I'm not the name for a lot of people to win tonight, but you have to admit I've been an underdog and I've clawed my way through here. I've been to the most tribal councils. I kept my final shot. I was the only person that kept my final shot. And I have known how every vote has gonna go except for ties. That's the only vote I didn't know how it was gonna go. Even when Megan told me about the split vote with Jamie, I also had NJ telling me about the split vote with Jamie. I had Aaliyah telling me about the split vote with Jamie. I had multiple people telling me about the split vote. I knew that, okay, if it is still on me, I was going to play my final shot, and it would have been between me and Rayanne. So does that answer your question, or is it like...
That does, yes, Andrew, that was lovely. That was great. That does answer my question. Thank you.
Appreciate
And
it.
Rayanne, my final question is for you. As you just brought up in your last question, me and you had quite the emotionally tumultuous relationship this game. In a very unique way for me, I feel like I was confronted with a game alliance that crossed over into a lot of emotional ways. Can you talk a little bit about how emotions come into your strategic strategy? And do you think that helps or hurts your game?
Sorry, I'm already getting emotional over this question. I think it comes down to it where it's like I'm an emotional person regardless. Like I'm always gonna cry. I'm always gonna feel deeply for people. I'm always going to want like the reason why I wanted this final three is because it's what made me feel warm and fuzzy and like happy. It was like Andrew's first game is Megan's first final three. I thought I would win. Like emotions are all a part of my game. Like I just want to work with the people that make me feel good. Um, I want to feel intensely. I feel intensely every day of my life. But I think that the vulnerability that I have is why people connect with me in such a real way. I think my vulnerability is what gives me my star power, and my emotion is what connects me to people. It what fuels my social game, and my social game fuels my strategic game. And for some fucking reason, I was physically great too, but like it's just like people think emotion is a bad thing in games. And I think being emotionally like manipulative is a bad thing, I guess. But I would say my emotions are my strength. And sometimes it can be like hard because and it can be my weakness, as a lot of people know, I crashed out a lot. There was a lot of crash outs, and I think these two both know, especially. I mean, you know from our little fights sometimes too. Like I am not afraid of like getting too overwhelmed. Sometimes I get too chaotic. I think it's like one of the greatest gifts I have, but it's also, I definitely know it's one of my weaknesses. But my whole game is about making my weaknesses into my strengths. So I feel like my emotions are what give me power.
Nice. Thank you. Any three of you are going to be a very, very deserving winner, and my heart breaks for the other two that you cannot share the title. I wish you all the best. I thank you for a lovely season. I will give my time to the next jar. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ben. I was a really big fan of his compliment sandwich when he started with an insult.
Yeah, I was gonna say my compliment didn't I didn't get I have an open face sandwich.
I think all of you got an open face sandwich. Anyways. We'll go to the next juror. The wonderful, the incredible Megan. Oh, hello, my dear.
Hi, guys.
Whenever you're ready.
Congratulations. Rayanne, you have your chair. I have my chair. We're always in this chair when we're talking. So I'll be quick. You guys know how I love to get to bed, so I will be quick. Andrew, I have no questions for you. The last 3 paragraphs that you sent me, apologizing and apologizing and apologizing, were sufficient. I don't need to hear anything else. Megan, I wanted very much to keep this not about me. I just want to ask you guys about your game, but I do have one quick question for you. Right before we went to the tribal where I was voted out, you sent me a message and said, I'm not voting for you tonight. I'm just wondering, A, if that was true, B, why you sent me that.
Was it the right before tribal?
Yeah, shortly
Okay.
before.
It might have. Okay. I think I did vote for you, and I thought, I'm pretty sure I voted for you that round. I'm thinking about that, and I did want you to go that round just because you had voted for me the round before. And so maybe that last little bit of me telling you like I'm not voting for you was my last little like jab out the door. I don't think I personally remember sending you that, but I think I did now that you're saying it. And I think it was just the last little bit of we're still in those final shots, dying wish, weird little twist of the worlds where blind sides were still a thing. And I was good at doing that. And so that's why I sent it to you. It wasn't meant to be anything mean or cruel or harsh. I think it was part of the game, but I did want you to go that round.
Okay.
I did.
And then my other question for you is, what was your high point in the game and what was your low point in the game?
Oh man, God. Probably the lowest point was had to be Sam. I think just coming in to merge, I really wanted that relationship to stay there. And so I think going right into jury and Sam being taken out from me was the lowest point. And then I will say, to be honest, I think coming in right after that round was maybe my highest point, because at that point, that's when I kind of looked at the trajectory and was like, okay, what do I have to do? I completely turned on after Sam left. Not that I wasn't on before, but I really feel like after Sam left, like each person that left was someone that I wanted to go. Each person that I voted out every single time after that, I put my vote on that person because I wanted them to leave, because I needed them to leave, because it was the thing that made my step further in the game. Whether you were saying my name, you voted for me, you were coming for me, you were coming for an ally, you weren't a part of an alliance that I had set up that was taking me to the final. So Sam leaving was definitely my lowest, but I do think that honestly, that was also my highest, because it is what changed my game and set me up. Merge to be in control, maybe not out front, but in the back.
Okay, thank you. And then Rayanne, as the game went on and you were still facing the other way in your chair, when we would talk, I would visualize you kind of as a puppeteer leaning over the chair, and I imagined in little invisible strings hanging down the back of the chair. So if you were a puppeteer, can you tell me whose strings you pulled the most?
Whose strings did I pull the most? Honestly, I think it was NJ at the end. NJ really thought that we were going to cut Megan. And NJ was so locked in that NJ made the decision at Final 5 to vote out Aaliyah, which I don't think was a great decision for their game. I will say, like, and I love NJ, but I was doing the choreography of the K-pop with them. You know what I mean? I was doing my whole little. I would say that I probably puppeteered them the most. I don't like saying that because it sounds like manipulative. But if we're going to look at the game as a whole, that was a NJ and my relationship and the trio of the gender spectrum, which was me, Andrew, and NJ, was a huge reason why I think I was able to take control and be like a big decision maker at the end of the game.
All right. Thanks, guys. Good luck.
Thank you.
Ooh, thank you, Megan. There we are. All right, coming up next, we have our international baddie, the incredible Gemma.
Hey guys, how you going? Congratulations, you three have played an amazing game. I'm just looking at my notes. Yeah, super proud of you guys. I'm really honored to play with all three of you. You guys have outwitted, outlasted, and outplayed. Now onto the grilling. Because I probably had the least amount of time with you three in the game, my motive tonight is to understand each of your journeys. So the following question will be addressed to all three of you. I'd like to go Andrew, Rayanne, and Megan. So my question is, what was your initial strategy coming into Endure, and did it change throughout? If so, why? I want specifics. So, Andrew, if you'd like to go first.
Yeah. So initial strategy for me going into Endure, again, only 2 seasons of watching Survivor under my belt. So a lot of it was sort of depending on my own instincts, a lot of how I could read people. So it wasn't a lot of experience and also not a lot of connections. Zero connections created with this game. So a lot of it leaned into me initially relying a lot on my naivete and playing that up with people. And that and I don't know if people can even look in the messages, but Rayanne, James were the first 2 people who literally came to me and they were like, you are a danger in this game because of how charming you are, which they may have said it. I have no idea if they said it, of how charming I was and how I was sort of unknown. And they specifically, James complimented the way that he was like, if I were you, I'd be playing exactly like you are right now, which is playing up my naivete and having people want to use you. So, and a lot of that is sort of abandoning ego in the game and letting people want to see you as something like, as someone like, basically you want people to underestimate you. You want people to sort of see you as something that they can control and tell information to, like, hey, this is what we're going to do. I need you to lock in. Otherwise it might be you next time. And never once was I upset that people, underestimated me. It really sort of played into how far I got in the game. And a lot of times when people underestimated me, like specifically like Malcolm, he may have initially underestimated me, but was very certain he wanted to get me out. And that whole episode is named after me. Like I did the whole Jack Sparrow comment. I'm the one that recruited Marco, Ty, and got Rayanne with me on this plan to flip everything on Malcolm, who is a titan in this game and is a titan in the orgs. And definitely throughout the game, I think that anyone who tells you that they have had a straight up plan throughout the game and it's been to the T is lying to you. I've had to adapt multiple times. I played a very strong mid game, but as soon as the tie vote happened, I had to lean back. You can see a very clear pattern in Merge. People who were schemers, including you, Gemma, sorry if that's
No,
cut out.
true.
Jamie, Ty, Ben, it's a pattern of behavior. People who scheme too much and too openly were sent home. And I couldn't openly scheme. I could behind doors scheme and you sort of use Rayanne as somebody who is catching a lot of flack, but also do the dirty work that Rayanne and I needed to kind of get there, causing chaos or trying to sow dissidence amongst people. So my game has adapted, but I always try to play into my naivete and have people underestimate me.
Cool. Thank you for your answer, Andrew. And Rayanne?
Yes, I really love this question. So I think going into any Survivor game, you can't really prep for anything. You never know who is going to be with you. I'm going to say, though, back from my original season, the critique I got a lot is that I held myself back a lot. I could have made more selfish moves, but I was making moves for, the alliance, for people. And at the end, I got bit in the ass for it. So this time I wanted to, continue to always be loyal. That's like the number one Rayanne trait in any org. But I also wanted to be just like really fucking ballsy. I think that's why I put my foot down. I was like, it's Jenny no matter what, the first vote we had. And I feel like I had this energy the whole time throughout the game where I was just like balls to the wall. I'm going for it. But a really specific strategy that I do in every single game that I would love to talk about is I'm a big believer in an open final 2. And what I mean by that is I like to have someone who I'm completely loyal to that everyone knows about because of that loyalty, one, we look like little mercenaries. They can hire us for votes, but also it disguises all my other relationships. It was really important for Megan and I throughout the game to disguise our final two, to make it seem like we weren't as close as we were, even though we were like this like the whole time, you know? So having Andrew as the public facing final two, like someone who I can give the immunity necklace to, was a benefit, because then we could secretly protect our other final three member and go to rocks for them if we had to that round. So I really do think like having that visible final two is always a huge part of my strategy. And I always think that it's just like a really fun, ballsy thing to do.
Yeah. Thank you for your answer, Ryan. I appreciate it. Hello, beautiful Megan.
Hi. Okay, so I said this kind of in my opening, but like coming in, my strategy was to use my likability to try to weaponize that, to be adaptable, to be flexible. So yes, did I adapt? I did, because that was my strategy coming in, was to try to be adaptable in this, but it was to weaponize my likability, which I think I did really well this time around, and that's what has gotten me here, and that's not something I have done in other games before. But I really came in and I was like, okay, I want people to like me. I want people to like me enough that they want to work with me. I want people to like me enough that they want to use me for things. But the whole time I knew that I also needed to lean on that and lean on me being maybe more of a target, lean on even maybe me being a leader, me being someone who, I don't know, someone might have called me the Boston Rob. I think it was Megan L. I don't know. Somebody called me something at some point. But this just like figure where I was like, I didn't mind being that at times because I needed to be. And so part of my adaptability played well when Sam left. I had to be adaptable. I had to move. I had to shift in that. I think that getting you out was a part of that. I think that getting people out who had turned on me at that point, or keeping people at a distance and adapting and shifting, was really important. I think that the Jackie vote was the vote that I was loud about, that I was upfront about, that I wanted Jackie out in that way. And that was another way for me to try to adapt in this game, is to get Jackie out, but that meant that I could get closer to Rayanne and to Andrew. And so getting Ty out was part of that, to get completely closer to Rayanne and closer to that side. Sam leaving, I had to move and I had to adapt, which I did. I think my likability is the thing that helped keep me safe throughout. I didn't have Dying Wish ever. I didn't have individual immunity ever. My name was out there, but people could not get the votes to vote me out of this game. And then I would keep my allies safe. I kept adapting to people. I think Lezo leaving was something that was hard, but that kept Ben. And I wanted Ben in this game because Ben was a potential 5 to that 4 that was already created. Same thing as Andrew. That alliance or that final 2 that I made with Rayanne, adapting and shifting and saying, Rayanne, you and I now are going to make it to the end of this game together, was a big way that, like, not only me adapting and shifting helped in there, but my likability, my relationship that I made, the connections that I had made in that. The connection I made with Aaliyah was really huge to get me to the point at the end. Aaliyah was really, really locked in with me, and that relationship that I developed with her, that I didn't have to, that I could have written off completely, could have written off her, could have written off NJ, could have written off. I mean, there's lots of people I could have written off and I didn't. And I continued to work with throughout the game, behind the scenes, maybe under the cover, out front, because people knew that I was a target. But was I always the name that they were trying to get out of this game? No. But was I getting things that I wanted done? Yes, because I was moving, maneuvering, adapting.
Cool. Thank you, guys. No, I really appreciate your answers, and just know that I love you all, and whoever wins is very deserving. Well, you're all deserving, but yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Gemma.
Bye.
All right, moving on. Only 2 jurors left, friends. So going from all the way back in season 1, we have the great Jamie LaFrance.
Hello. How are you guys? Honestly, a lot of what I was planning on coming in here, I think, has been answered. And I don't really, I want to say, like, coming into tonight, I really wasn't sure who I was going to vote for. I want to say, like, genuinely, I was going to come in here and be fake angry, but I can't. Like, I can't. I do like all 3 of you so much. Like, genuinely, I was sitting here talking to my roommate, like, I love all 3 of them. And if any one of you were to win this game, I'd be happy as a friend, but I still want to see who I think the best player is win the game. So, like, friendships kind of be damned. You need to earn it, right? Like, I love this game so much, and I really wanted to win. So if I'm going to lose, I want to feel like I lost to somebody who was the best. And There's still room for you guys all to kind of prove that, I think. And so I think I want to start with Rayanne, and I want to ask about how and this isn't meant to. It's going to come across maybe bitter or mean, but I want to ask how intentional was the language that you used in your relationship with Andrew to the rest of us? Because, truth be told, if I was in an alliance with someone and they were saying things like, "Oh, like I'll go deal with him," and he was like my baby, and but like he's throwing a tantrum, I'll go like handle him like his mother, like that to me, like if it was me, I'd be really upset. And I don't think you were doing it maliciously, but I want to know, like, was it intentional so that people thought you were his handler, or was that just like I'm being fun and I like it because of your relationship?
One, I'm like obviously very sarcastic person. I'm a silly person. A lot of it is a joke, but I also wanted to make it seem like I was always with y'all and that like y'all's issues with him were heard. And there was a lot of, especially at the beginning, there was a lot of Andrew complaining. So like it was important that I leaned into it, being like, I'm so sorry, like that's my little baby. Let me go deal with my little son. I'm sorry he's biting right now. Like I'll go get the most like sorry Andrew, but like it was really important for me to like lean into the alliance aspect of it. Whereas like it was to show that like I was like trying to be annoyed with you about him as well. So I'd say it was intentional. Sometimes, and Andrew knows this, he did annoy me. So like, and I annoyed him. Like, but that's just also our relationship. Thank you, love. But that is like yeah. I think that I was allowed to joke about that, I would hope.
Yeah, no, and that's fine. I just want like, and everyone has different relationships. I just think that's something for me that would have been tough. But like, I also know that you and Andrew have a different relationship than you and me, and I don't think those kind of jokes got made of me. So it's fine. It's not like a personal boundary that I think was like off limits or anything. I just want to know, like, you know, I knew you had obviously a very close relationship with Andrew. I think as soon as we all saw Ben win that immunity, it was like, oh shit. And so I guess what were you thinking by like you said you had Andrew as like your public facing person, so you could hide your other relationships. Do you think that that put more risk onto you than your other relationships with Megan, for example?
I've said this actually a lot of times throughout the game. I don't mind being the person who is in trouble, who is like the face of people, if that means that my allies can do what they need to do. So if it looks like I'm the villain, if it looks like I am like too latched up with someone, that is fine with me if I can still do what I need to do. And I'm competent enough, I mean, not competent, but like confident enough in my abilities as an orger and as a player that like I feel like I can handle adversity and I kind of like adversity. I like a challenge. I think it's a little bit fun. Um, but yeah, like I don't mind it. I mean, I think that's why I ended up getting to dying wishes is because I wasn't afraid to go into the fire.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Thank you. Andrew, I guess my question for you is, first off, we had a crazy relationship. I love you, dude. Like, I genuinely love you. I think you know that at this point. I think you know all
you,
the
bro.
things you thought about me are true. I am crazy, but at least I was crazy for you, and we were working together. And anyways, think my thing with you, and I kind of told you this before we left, that I think if you were sitting here with them, it's a hard route for you. I think you played a good game. I do. I think if you were to walk away today as the winner, I wouldn't be upset. But I think what I want from you is like, okay, you chose to sit here with two really good players, so you think at you're at their caliber. Tell me what I don't know about your game that puts you at this caliber that you're comfortable sitting with the best rather than sitting with people that you probably had a better chance against.
Okay, well, tell me why. Like, give me a good reason as to why I'm not at their caliber, and I'll tell you exactly why.
Yeah, and I think what it is that you were seen as an extra vote or a lackey, and whether that's because way Rand, phrased all those things about you, kind of in my question to her, like you were just seen as, okay, we have our group, we're making the decision. Rayanne will just get Andrew. Andrew's going to do what we want anyways.
Exactly.
And I want to kind of just hear a little bit of like, when did you get Rayanne to do something that you wanted?
I think Rayanne and I had a very collaborative relationship where I was doing a lot of things. If I know this might be, I'll just say it. Rayanne wanted Megan out at the Final Four.
Mhm.
I was the one that said, no, I'd rather NJ go. Because I wanted to be the only new person. And Rayanne mentioned to me that Megan would pull more votes from the jury and would be the stronger player to go against. And I was like, well, then I want the strong one.
Okay.
So that's why that was a decision of my own. Malcolm was a decision of my own. And I don't want people to forget, I swapped without Rayanne and I ran that tribe. I took out Riazo, misted him. I learned what that phrase means. You're welcome. I took out Tito.
Thank you.
Took out Brian. I took out Malcolm. Did I say Malcolm already?
I don't love that one.
I know. Malcolm is beloved by all, and I feel really bad about it. And only after the fact that I realized, like, oh shit, like Malcolm's like
emotions be down. I only have 10 minutes, so
no, for sure. So I am a good player. I had to lean into my naivete. I needed people to think that they could use me. Otherwise, I wasn't gonna get far. You especially you know this, like when people are scheming out in public, like Ty and everything, it doesn't work. I was getting close with you. I was working on a better relationship with NJ. I was trying to work with Ben. I was tight with Aaliyah towards the end. Absolutely. And from the very beginning of the game, I was locked in with James, who took a bullet for you, by the way. I was locked in with James, and we had planned to split apart during the swap, and James was going to see the full side of his field. I was going to see the full side of my field. I was going to get closer to Rayanne and create a strong ally there. And I think if anything, my loyalty to Rayanne should not be seen as a weakness, but as a strength, because I have overcome people coming after me and Rayanne multiple times, especially with me being the secondary option or the split vote like you tried to do, or the split vote people have tried to do in the past with Jackie. And I ate that shit. I didn't play my final shot. I don't know if that was the plan for the you, Jamie, or you, Megan, Rayanne, and NJ's plan was for me not to play my final shot or to play my final shot. Like, I trusted you too with the whole peach yogurt plan. So like you can seem a good ass player. And if there's a learning curve, I learned the most. I got the most, and I got the farthest, and I adapted the most.
And I think, Andrew, I want to like say like the thing that intrigues me the most about your game is that like you say screw the meta, I'm gonna play my way. If I'm annoyed at someone, I'm gonna tell them I'm annoyed at them, and I really appreciate that. Like it's refreshing. And if I were a viewer, I would be Team Andrew, because it's like, and I'm still kind of Team Andrew, like I'm Team all of you, but like I would be Team you. Like that's why your emojis are the most trending, because like every time you would say something, it's hilarious. Like you would be the funniest dude. You would say like people would be pissed at you for things, and you'd be like, oh well. Like I think the way you played the game is unique, and I think like that shows that you haven't watched a show and you played it your way, and you're able to do it your way and still be sitting here. So like I think you've gained a lot of respect and like potentially votes. I don't know from the jury, but I think you've done a good job tonight, and just keep doing it with the rest of the time. But I want to get to Megan. So Megan, like literally, I don't think this shocks you. I love you. I think you know this. You're like one of the best friendships I made in this game. I literally thought it was NJ or Aaliyah who turned on me and not you. Like obviously it stings, but like it doesn't sting when I hear what your reasonings were, because you're dead on. You read the game right. I love you, and I was having these discussions like I want to bring Megan to the Final Four. I don't really want to have to cut her there, but I have to. And Megan, you made, in my opinion, the right moves for your game in those moments. And you already answered the kind of question. My question for you is really that final seven, because when Aaliyah and NJ come in saying, "Oh my God, Megan said she did accidentally," I'm like, Megan doesn't make accidents like that. But like to me, it was like, okay, was it accidental, or why did you want to go with these two? And hearing your game tonight, you kind of answered my questions for you. But I do want to say that like I think you're doing a great job tonight. I'm really impressed with like how many more options you had. Like my question to Rayanne, it kind of is the same question for you, is that you had a secret final two, I say, with Rayanne, because I really thought that me or NJ would have been the people you wanted to go farther with. And so why do you think it was like, why did you choose Rayanne, and why Rayanne over anybody else? And I guess you kind of said it a bit, but a little bit more on that.
Yeah, I think it really was mainly, it was a lot of the threat level. And I didn't trust that, honestly, the rest of you that was left with me on the other side, which was you and NJ and even Ben and Aaliyah. And Aaliyah at that point, I think had already been throwing out my name. Like there was a good bit of you that I was like, man, like if I'm making it to the end, like I did trust you. And so like Jamie, it wasn't that I didn't trust you, but it was at some point that I was like, these other people are going to be coming for me. And it really did feel like when Ray and I had an honest conversation about it, Ray and I both were like, we have to be like locked in together. If we don't go for each other, I think that we're safer here. Honestly, I think that I honestly was maybe saving Rayanne a bit more than saving myself in that. And I think that I did see a lot of strategic moves that Rayanne could make with Andrew that would help me get to the end, but Rayanne and Andrew didn't bring me to the end. I made the move to shift to align myself with Rayanne to make that final two because we were big threats to keep each other in the game, to keep each other safe, which is exactly what panned out and played out. Rayanne kept people off of me. But then also your round, I mean, that relationship paid off the most there because that's when I turned and I went.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, the thing that set me up to get to where I am.
And I think that was just the biggest question mark.
And I feel like it had to be Andrew. I felt like because Ray and Andrew were so upfront about their stuff, like I think you would have been an ideal person that I would have wanted here with me. But it's
all good. It's all good.
I think it was Ray and Andrew.
I genuinely, I'm so okay with any of you guys winning. I'm the only thing that hurts is I'm not there with you, but there's only 3 spots. It is what it is. I want to say, I guess the other thing, because I just want to, and this is more of a credit to your game. So the round that Sam left, I want to let you know that I did know. NJ had told me, and I think this is one of the credits to your game is that if it was you that was going home, I would have told you. But I think the way that you played the game made people not want to turn on you and but we're still doing. So I was willing to let Sam go there and be like, after the trinket thing, I was pissed at you both, but
I know.
I don't even think I could have got it in my spirit to be angry at you because you're really good at making these connections with people. And that's what did good for you. And I just want to
round by round.
And that's what I think, like as you're going in for the rest of these questions, like just keep saying the truth. I think you're doing great. Rayanne, I think you're doing great. Andrew, I think you're doing great. I'm really interested in seeing who wins here because this has been more eye-opening tonight than I anticipated because I feel like I played so close with you that I didn't expect to be shocked tonight, and I've been shocked. So keep it up. Love y'all. And I have nothing funny to say, but I don't know. Good job.
Thank you, Jamie. All right. Jamie, the only one to use all 10 minutes. Are we shocked? All right. For our
Jamie Wood, are we surprised?
For our last juror, we're bringing in the great Aaliyah, queen of olive oil.
Hey, how's it going? Congrats. I'm so happy that the 3 of you were able to persevere to the final 3 together and stuff. So congrats. It's a difficult game and 28 people and 4 starting tribes. I can go all day and I can yap all day. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bored. So here's I am, outsider looking in. I was obviously on the bottom, this alliance and this and that and this and this and whatever circle jerk y'all had going on. I don't know, but it's okay. So my first question is who was making these moves, So it's so I'm hearing okay, me and Megan and me and Rayanne, was it who was the driving force, that's my first question. Whoever wants to answer.
In what way do you mean driving force?
To get yourselves to the end. You're we need this person to go, or you're no, I want this person to go. Was there ever pushback? I want to know the real tea. What's happening? How did you get yourselves here?
I think, Rand, you can speak to this. I personally think that DDD ran more of how you and I got to the end than us 3 in this group. I think after the Jamie round leaving, this 3 locked in more about how do we maneuver these next rounds. And I'm sure that Rand and Andrew had already kind of figured out some of what they wanted to do, but I knew what I wanted as well for that up to that point. But I think it was really the DDD group.
Yeah,
together.
I think most of the game it was DDD, but I'm gonna be, a little bit messy. I'm gonna say near the end of the game, I feel like I really took charge, and I feel like me and Andrew, like he just admitted, like we also had a final group with NJ. That's why I said I was marionetting. Like we had options to pick who we went with at the end, especially since Andrew did win like immunity. Like specifically with your vote, I really did put my foot down. Like I think that NJ would have preferred Megan to go, and I think Megan would have preferred NJ to go. But for my game, it was best for me to have both of the people that I think wanted to go with me to the end to be in the end with me, and I did not think you were. So specifically with your vote, I put my foot down.
I actually think it was okay for Aaliyah to go. No offense, Leah. I didn't necessarily want.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about me going, but
Yeah,
I mean, like, okay, final 5, that was 2 rounds ago. Like, how did you get yourselves from final 11 when you two were like, we're locking in? Like, what was like the decision making? Like I feel like this is now a good time. Like, I want you two to pitch against each other. Like, why do you think you should win? Like, why do you guys think you played a better game than each other? And
So
I
I
think this is important because I really don't know, So I'm just sitting here like, oh, okay, I'm hearing Megan this and Rayanne this, but I'm like, but who? Like, why? And where?
I do think that Rayanne coming to me and saying, hey, if we create a 4, I think when Rayanne said this at the beginning, Rand kind of approached this as like, I came to Megan and like, hey, here's the 4. Well, Rand came to me, and I do think that matters. I'm going to be really selfish here. I'm going to say it again. Who did Rayanne turn to when Rayanne felt like that she was on the bottom of the 3 of them, and we were all going to come after and turn and get rid of either Andrew, Rayanne, or Jackie? I had already had a solidified relationship with Rayanne working up to that point. Who did Rayanne turn to? She turned to me. Rayanne turned to me to talk about how to create that 4. Obviously, Rayanne had in mind already what she wanted to do. She was the one who approached me about that. I can give her credit there. I'm just naming where she came. From there, we did make the decision. I said that we already had a relationship with Jamie. I said that I wanted Jamie in. Rayanne said that she would want NJ, and I was perfectly fine with that because the relationship that NJ and I had was secret and was quiet, that I had made pre-jury all the way up to that point, and that was something that I used as well to my advantage, navigating in that. And so the lock-in for Rayanne and I was really final too. I mean, honestly, it really wasn't both of us conversation, but I was the one that prompted that conversation late on call, where I was like, hey, it's you and I final 2. We are the only ones who are going to be able to keep each other safe to make it to the end. So I did initiate that. I did push that. We did agree to that on call together. And then I do think from here on out, like we did have this secret relationship where we would come together and talk about like what we wanted to do for certain votes and why it made the most sense. Obviously, Rayanne and I had different wants, but I think that we both like fought that. I think that's where I shined more, that even if Rayanne was willing to push and make her way known, whether that was a lezo or a this or a that or whatever, I was still able to have all the other relationships that I did to be like, sure, that actually can still work for me because I already have set in stone my other final 3s, my other ways to get to the end. Rayanne and Andrew were just another option for me. So I was also using them as much as it might appear.
And from my angle of it, it's like, I think she said it, I was the one who approached. I've always been the one to go out, do the ballsy thing, and like do the open thing. Like I was not afraid to show my cards to everyone and like pitch what I wanted. I think throughout the game, as we saw the alliance and who we voted out, a lot of them benefited me. There was a lot of people who were targeting me. They weren't, other than Jackie, they were not people who were targeting Megan. I think DDD benefited me and Andrew the most out of everyone. So I think that's why I think me pushing that alliance when I was on the bottom, that time at that point in the game, I think that is what brought us all here. I think that was the biggest move, was me coming up with that alliance.
I think it definitely benefited you guys, but I don't think it benefited me necessarily any.
Oh no,
Yeah,
it
I think it
benefited you,
totally
but I'm here
benefited
to. I'm trying to
Andrew and
win,
Ryan
girl.
more. For sure. Yeah, for sure. Because I guess I just feel that like what I'm hearing is that like Megan, to me it sounds like you needed Rayanne to get you here, and like that's what I'm kind of
No,
perceiving it as. And I'm just
no,
kind of like, do you see a world where like you could have like this wasn't
yes,
like your only
yes, because
option?
it wasn't my only option. I had other options. This was the option that I chose. And part of the reason that I chose it was because I knew that I was a target. And I knew I had other options, but Ben was throwing out my name. Ben was someone who wanted to come after me. Jamie was someone that might, I mean, even Rayanne wasn't sure she wanted to keep me at 4. I wasn't sure that anyone really was actually going to keep me to the end. And I thought that Rayanne was my best option as someone making a final 2 with to go there. I mean, that's part of why we make these final 2s, right? Is like to see like how we're going to get to the end. And Rayanne is someone I wanted to play with. Rayanne wasn't like a random person I picked to play with. We were someone I'd already had a relationship with. I'd already built that with her coming in. And so, no, I had other ways to get here. I mean, I had you and NJ potentially. I had Jamie and Rayanne. I had Ben and Jamie. Like, I had other avenues, maybe even me, you, and Jamie, Aaliyah, or something. I had other avenues to get here. It was what I was choosing, what I was picking. I picked this. I didn't get asked to join it. I didn't get forced into anything. It was something that, like, I picked and I chose and I navigated it. I didn't need Rayanne. It was a choice that I made because I saw how the dominoes were falling and I knew the steps that I needed to make to get here. And every person leaving was something that benefited me. It is what got me here. Even if it meant having to lose someone, I was able to shift and adjust every time after that because I saw the other paths forward. This was just a path that I picked.
Okay. I appreciate your answers. Hey, Andrew.
What's up?
Congrats. You did it. You know, like,
Aaliyah, we
not
can't
gonna
let these white
lie,
people
not
win.
gonna
Vote for
lie.
me, please.
I was saying, you know, like, Andrew, at least he put time in, you know, like we get on call for an hour. I mean, like, at least, like, I respect somebody that will lie to me for an hour long, then just kind of shut me out. So
You got
you
it.
know, thank you. Thank you. But
I
no,
got you.
I think you played a good strategic game. Like I'm so glad you made it to the end, especially like this being your first game and stuff, you know. So like I feel bad that like, yeah, you know, but you did a great job, and I think that like you did an excellent job, and you're gonna be a doctor. Like that's basically like that's how I'm looking at it. So you're gonna be a doctor, and
Actually, I'm not even in medical school. I just said all that stuff. Like, I don't know. People really believed it. No, I'm kidding. I am in medical school. I'm about to graduate. Sorry. I had to lie one more time to you, Aaliyah, just to do it.
but okay, congrats. Thanks. I had so much fun. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Aaliyah. I'm assuming that's all you have. Okay.
Bye.
Let's get to our closing statements, guys. All right. We're starting off with Megan. As a reminder, we have 5 minutes on closings. You don't have to use all of it, but whenever you're ready.
Okay. All right. Closing statements, guys. I want just thank Prod again. Thank you guys for this incredible game. And Jury, thank you for your incredible questions. Thank you for grilling me. Thank you for coming at me. Thank you for holding my feet to the fire, making me show my game, making me express my game. I recognize that some of it could have been hidden and could have been not shown and not up front. And I want to own it. And I hope that I showed and I hope that I owned everything that I did, because I do really believe that I played the best game. And I am so confident in that. I made the moves that I needed to make to get me to the end. No single person brought me here. I saw the writings on the wall and I walked as I could for them. Every single person that did leave this game is someone that I wanted to leave the game. It is someone who either did say my name, whether that was Jackie, whether that was Leza, whether that was Ben turning on me or Gemma turning on me when Sam left the game, or even NJ eventually. Like, these were people that I wanted out of the game, that I didn't want sitting with me at the end, that I didn't think would bring me to the end. And so The moves that I made, the way that I adapted, the way that I was flexible, the way that I was confident, the way that I was charismatic. I don't want my likability here to be underestimated. I don't want that my woo and my charisma, the way that I weaponized it, the way that I used it, the way that I let that give me information, the way that I could see what was happening each round to make the moves that I needed to make, to align myself with who I needed to align with. And if that was Rayanne, that was Rayanne. That was Andrew, that was Andrew. If that was Davey, it was Davey. If it was Ben, it was Ben. If it was different persons at different times. But I saw what I needed to do each and every time. People leaving benefited me. Alliances did benefit me. I do appreciate you guys so much. I played my heart out. I sacrificed a lot. I'm really proud of the game that I played. I really believe that I played the best game. This is the last time I am going to do this ever again. So it was an honor to do this.
Okay, it's my turn. Sorry, she was making me a little bit emotional, so I probably am gonna start crying as well. But coming into this game, I was a big threat. If you look at my old game, I made it to the final three. I made it to the final three again. Um, I played boldly. I played in the front. I was able to get my allies when me and Andrew were on the bottom. I created the path to get us here. I created the path, my own path to get me here. I won challenges. I dug my head deep into strategy and like to the point where I made people cry. And I'm still very sorry on a personal level about that. But on a game level, I always did what was necessary for me to succeed and for me to make it to the end where I sit here happily with the people that worked with me the most throughout this game. Um, I'm bold. I'm beautiful. I'm cunty. And in my opinion, I've never been someone who's ever been good at challenges. I've never been the person to ever really get the respect of my strategy. I'm usually just a social girly, and I am a big fan of girls who are just super, super likable. I mean, that's why I love Megan. But this is the first time I can say I played a full, all-rounded game where I brought two final twos, and honestly, I had another final two in NJ. I had options. I was finally made it. The person who is gets called Suri finally has options to make it to the end. During this game, Aaliyah once told me, "Why be Suri when you can be Parvati?" And what I question the jury is, why do I need to be Parvati? Why do I need to be Suri when I can just be Rayanne? Because Rayanne has shown that she's good. She's fucking good at this shit. And I really believe that I should win. But something that my friend Trey said to me in the first vote when they were here with me was, if you get voted out, we're gonna drink. If you stay, we're gonna drink. So if I win, I'm gonna drink. I already have been. And if I lose, I'm gonna drink in celebration for other people. I just know no matter what, at the end of the day, I'm a beautiful trans woman with clear skin, big fake tits, and a fat ass, and no one can take that away from me.
All right. Okay. It is me, the final one. So mine is not going to be super long, to be honest. But listen, I've endured, and I can't say more than that, honestly. Like, the game isn't survival, the game is endure. Again, I've gone to the most tribals. I've endured the most heat during this final tribal council. I have honestly lost most of my allies. And my love language, hopefully, if the jury figured it out, is rage baiting. So, honestly, I can't, like, I've really enjoyed playing with every one of you. And I really have made a lot of great connections. And I really appreciate Prod letting me join this and letting me play, even though there's no experience that I have whatsoever. Um, I played, I fucking endured. I did 14, 12, 14, some days 15-hour shifts. coming back to play this game, and I survived consistently to the point where my girlfriend was just like, at this point, you have to like win. So I gave it my all. I'm trying to win. People want to sort of discredit me and sort of talking around me, and sort of even here just sort of seeing me as a puppet of Rayanne, or just some sort of puppet of like Megan or Jackie or Ty, just somebody to sort of be loyal. But I think anybody who watches back, I'm not going to go into all the details of how I played my own game and I survived on my own and I endured on my own and I ranched it on my own. The evidence is all there. You can go find out. I've spoken a lot of it. I won't say more than that. And I did all this, and people will say like, "Oh, Andrew was evil and did some evil, crazy things." Yeah, I did. That shit was fun. And I did all that, and I still proved I was loyal too. I go through the records, go through the voting records. I never once voted for Rayanne. I don't even think I voted for Megan once either, to be honest. So that's the truth. I'm a new player, so I feel like I should be an org legend, and I'll give that my last endorsement for myself. I'll keep it nice and sweet.
All right, thanks, friends. We will move into the voting portion of the evening. So y'all can chill in here. You can riff, just chat. I will try and get through the jurors super, super quickly. And then we will come back and reveal the winner. All right, I will be back in hopefully less than 15 minutes. God. Please, God. We've been pretty fast this season.
You're an org legend to me, baby.
No, I know. I'm about to fight some people after this, honestly.
That was really tough.
You are still streaming, by the way.
Oh, okay.
That's so cute. I'm gonna go to the bathroom because I've been holding it. Aren't you guys proud of me? I didn't ask for a bathroom break.
Good job,
once. Anders, keep note. I did it for you. But now I need to actually do it because I've been holding it for a
I'm gonna go
while.
pee. I'm gonna go
And I'm
pee.
gonna smoke a bowl too. And then
Go pee.
I think all three of us did really well. I'm excited to see what
I'm
happens.
really nervous. I feel like I'm gonna start crying and bawling, and I
I'm
feel
already
like, ugh.
the minute I turn off this camera, I'm gonna start crying. I've been holding back tears. It's also why I need to go pee. So
Okay.
Okay.
My bad. That wasn't me. I got hacked. I should probably mute myself, right? You're right. I should. Yeah.
Are we staying off camera? Oh, we are. I bought a 100 milligram creamsicle soda. And I got like a joint that has like dab oil in it. I think it's called like a honey stick. So, take your picks, everyone. What should I smoke after the reveal? Put your votes in now.
I'm gonna smoke crack after this.
As you should, baby. I mean, it's what you've already been smoking.
We're streaming still? Oh yeah.
Probably. Oh.
To all the residencies, that wasn't me. I got hacked.
It's not real. Hey, love.
Hi.
You're super pretty tonight, by the way. I haven't gotten
You
a chance to
too.
say that.
You
Green's
too.
your color.
Thanks. I bought this for like a wedding that I never got to wear it to. So
Oh, yeah, you look gorgeous.
Here's
Stunning. The beauty of the season.
no. It's you, Rayanne.
I mean, yes, but like, let me compliment you too.
Thank you.
Yeah, Final Tribal is fun, right, everyone?
Oh my god, no, fuck that shit.
No.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's why, like, I'm happy to let you all experience it, but, like, as you know, sometimes it's just, like, a way harder than you think it's gonna
Oh
be.
my god, like so much harder.
It was tough. Like, I was almost like, I was ready to start crying, like,
Me
multiple
too. I was
times.
just like, stop talking to me. Stop asking me questions. The amount of times I felt like I had to go first too for a bit, and then finally I got to go at the end. I was like, okay.
I think it's like what we were talking about like earlier. Like we get so connected to these people, like and so quick that like I think it gets even more emotional getting
Yeah.
grilled by them.
Getting grilled and then also feeling misunderstood. I think that is
Yes.
I hate feeling misunderstood. And so I think that was such a hard dynamic in this, and then people being like, oh well, my perception's this, and it's like, oh well, that's not it, like this is what I did, or this is my perception. And so that feeling misunderstood, I'm like, oh
Yeah, I'm glad that like most people gave us all flowers though.
I think so.
Yeah, so I think some people could have given more flowers to people, but I this was a hard game,
This
so.
was really hard.
But we did it. Now it's just the fun part. After this, we get to go to the main server and see award shit. And get to talk to people and get to finally see. I mean, I'm not reading the VL. I refuse. But
Yeah, I know.
are you gonna read it, Andrew? You gonna dive in?
No, I don't care.
This was Andrew answer.
No, I mean, at this point, I've endured even more during this final travel.
Yeah,
it was just me. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
And
Oh,
endure is actually the meaning of endure is actually just about the final tribal council. Like you have to endure it.
Ugh.
Yeah, I feel like I got like spanked. Oh, sorry. I should. That's a bit better. There's a better word I can pick. I think I got emotionally, physically. No, I didn't get physically spanked. Sorry.
No, they came into you hard, I think.
Can they see you guys?
They should.
They're
Honestly,
right?
bring it on.
Yeah, you did tell me you're like ready to fight everyone.
I knew people would come in strong for me. Loki, I was like surprised Lozo came in strong because I was like, what did I do to you two? I was just like, how are you mad at me? What did I say?
Whew. That was hard.
Is Lozo watching this right now too? Probably.
Probably.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Lozo. I'm sorry. I don't know what I did.
But yeah, no. I got a glass of a bottle of rosé. I usually don't drink wine. The person at the store I went to was like, "Wine? You never get this." So
That's
I'm
funny.
becoming a little bit of a wine girl. I have been lately. When I go out, I've been getting wine. It's been like
Wine.
bold and new for me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm 30. Like I'm
Oh,
slowly. I watched too much Sex in the City recently. That
sure.
like I've melted in.
Need
If
a wine.
anyone was curious, I am a Charlotte. I know it may come to a surprise, but I am a prude.
Charlotte.
Isn't that her name?
Yeah. That just surprised me.
Yeah, no, I'm a very traditional former Christian girl. I would say I'm still like pretty like religious. Like I still
Yeah.
pray and stuff,
Yeah.
but like I wouldn't say like I go to church or like read the
Right.
Bible or anything like that. Like I like pray for,
Yeah.
the
Thanks.
world and people, you know what I mean? Like the connections between humans.
Yeah.
But um what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying.
I don't know.
I
This all
got
started by
stoned.
drinking wine somehow.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I
I
don't.
don't know about how we got here or what I was talking about. I am very crossed right now.
I know. I'm
Oh.
starting to get a little.
Like the whole time, like I was going through the bottle during tribal. I was so stressed.
Oh, that was so intense. Oh my god.
Yeah. You get what you ask for.
I own it.
Yeah. The game was really fun though. I think I've prod listening. Y'all did a really great job. It was really fun. It's really hard to put on a 28-person game. Especially with dropouts, and y'all adjusted really well to that. And I'm kind of glad they did because I'm sure we would have suffered in various other aspects in the
Oh,
tribal period. So shout out to people who did drop, and thank
Yeah,
you
thank
for
you.
dropping. And I hope that
Well, maybe
your
not thank you.
situations, I
Yeah.
hope your situations are good though.
Yeah,
Because
maybe
those
not.
were like pretty like like maybe that wasn't.
I take
I'm
that back.
crossed. I take everything I say back. Um, but I'm trying to keep everyone entertained. What should we talk about?
I don't know. I feel like I've just talked so much.
Yeah, no, honestly, we did.
I don't think I talked much at all, actually.
The jury was feminist today, but no, I think you killed it, baby.
No, Andrew, you did well. Your
You did
first
so
game.
well.
You need to be proud.
It's totally fine. It's okay.
No, let me compliment you, bitch. Lovingly.
I'm nervous.
I am too. Are you gonna tell by my rocking?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my mom said I wore out my like rocker that they had for me as a baby until I was too big for it.
Oh wow.
And then I would sometimes try to run to the park to go swing. So I've always just been like a rocker. It's like my self-soothing thing.
That would be that's your way to soothe.
That's why I have the rocking chair. That's why it's actually really nice because I usually have it over here. I never have it over here, but it was perfect for the game because it's more fun to do this. And usually I'm like
I know.
all the time. And like that looks so weird. So it's like so much better just to rock.
Oh.
Playing with a comb.
I thought it was a fan at first.
No, it's what I was combing my hair with before this came on. If anyone wants to know what I use.
It's a big comb.
It is. I'm a big girl.
Ooh.
I'm really not that tall. Do you know how tall I am, Megan?
No, how tall are you?
Guess.
5'4".
Oh no, I'm taller than that. Do you know
Okay.
Andrew?
I've even met you in person.
Yeah, we slept in the same room.
I know. Crazy when you think about it. Nobody knows that.
Yeah, no,
Really?
I just fun fact, something we never dropped.
We've shared a space and slept in the same room 2 nights in a row.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Fuck.
All right, friends. Thank you for vamping for me. We will give it just a hot second to let everyone come back in here. I did tag everyone. So first I'll give my little spiel. Thank you everyone for an incredible season, 28 players, 2 months. This was a hell of a journey. As Andrew said tonight, we all endured. But I do have to give additional thanks to all of the prod team who have gone above and beyond what they normally do. I think we all got the pleasure of seeing the police join me at Tribal Council one night, and I think we all know that my month has been a hell since. So I really truly can't thank prod enough because this season wouldn't have gotten over the finish line without them. That being said, I also love to say this is one of the best final threes we've ever had in the series. I don't think it gets as competitive as this. So with that, we will get to the votes tonight. I will say we have a historic first tonight. So you want to see your name on the parchments. With that, we will get to the votes. First vote. Ryan. It's flipped on StreamYard. I forgot. Oh, that's so annoying. Second vote. Megan. Third vote. Megan. Fourth vote. Rayanne. That is 2 apiece to Megan, to Rayanne. Fifth vote. Megan. Sixth vote. Rayanne. That is 3 votes apiece. There's 2 votes left. Seventh vote. Rayanne. That's 4 votes Rayanne. 3 votes Megan. 1 vote left. Eighth vote. Megan. Meaning that we have a tie, which means me and Andrew, we're going to hop off here really quick, and you and I are going to the voting booth. You get to be the tiebreaker. Yeah, sorry, buddy. That's how the rules work in Survivor. So we are going to hop off this call really quick, and yeah, you're coming to the voting booth, buddy. All right, guys, we will be right back. Love you both.
It's what we expected. We knew it was going to be a battle between us.
Mm-hmm. Good job, Rayanne.
Good job, Megan.
Whew. It's okay. It's okay.
We'll see.
No, it's okay.
You never know with Andrew, but
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
You know what song I've been listening to all the time this season?
What song?
It's All I Can Do by Jump 5. This is lasting it ever since your fucking Instagram story.
Love
Like you
that.
unlocked like a childhood memory.
All right, friends, we're keeping it nice and sweet and quick for you guys. Andrew's gonna come rejoin us. Just gonna re-give him the link here because I did kick him out like a meanie. If he wants to rejoin. Okay, cool. One last vote, guys. A tie. That has never happened in Endure history, so that is a first. Incredible. Okay, the winner of Endure Vagary in a vote of 5-4 is Rayanne. Congratulations, Rayanne. You have won. Incredible game, you two. It definitely deserves a 5-4 vote. Woo! Okay, we're gonna go off stream. Congrats, guys. Love you both.
I'm gonna like have a panic attack.